It happened without warning. One moment, the world was a symphony of electric hums. The next, a profound and sudden silence fell. The lights didn't just flicker, they vanished. It wasn't a local outage. The entire street, the entire city was plunged into an inky, unfamiliar blackness. This was different. This was big. The family, let's call them the Millers, gathered in the living room, their faces illuminated only by the faint moonlight. They were a typical suburban family, utterly dependent on the grid. Day one dawned with a cold, hard reality. This is the critical 72-hour window where your initial actions will set the tone for the entire ordeal. The Millers, shaking off their shock, knew they had to act. Procrastination is a killer in a survival situation. I asked a powerful AI, ChatGPT, what the top priorities should be in this exact scenario. It said, 1. Secure a potable water source. 2. Preserve perishable food. 3. Establish a safe, non-electric light source. 4. Create a sanitation plan. Communication became an immediate challenge. With no TV, internet, or radio, they were information-starved. Their small hand-crank emergency radio became their most valuable possession. By the end of the first week, a new and exhausting routine had cemented itself. Life without electricity is hard work. Every simple task becomes a multi-step physical chore. Food became the central focus of their existence. They ate a lot of rice, beans, and canned vegetables. Mom learned to bake dense, heavy bread in a cast-iron pot over the fire. The emotional toll began to show. To combat this, the parents insisted on structure. They played cards by candlelight, told stories, and read books aloud. It was a forced togetherness that slowly began to mend their family fabric. 2 weeks in, the role of community came into sharp focus. In a crisis, you quickly learn who your neighbors are. Some doors remained shut, but others opened up. The Miller's son discovered he had a knack for fixing things. He became the neighborhood's go-to repairman, earning respect and valuable supplies. Everyone has a skill that is valuable when the chips are down. But where there is community, there can also be conflict. The Millers had their first scare when they woke to find their woodpile raided. They had to think about security in a way they never had before. Entering the 4th week, the Millers were transformed. They were thinner, their hands calloused, but their eyes were sharp and aware. They had adapted. The biggest change was mental. The constant anxiety of modern life had been replaced by immediate, honest concerns. These were real problems with real solutions, bringing a sense of accomplishment no office job ever could. There were moments of despair. During a week of rain, the mother broke down, weeping from exhaustion and fear. But instead of causing a fracture, her vulnerability brought the family closer. True strength isn't about never feeling weak. The end came just as suddenly as the beginning. On the 30th day, as the family was preparing their meager evening meal, a single light flickered on in the kitchen. They all froze, staring at the small bulb as if it were a miracle. The kids let out a whoop of joy. The parents simply held each other, tears streaming down their faces. It was over. The great darkness had lifted. The return to normalcy was jarring. But as weeks passed, they realized what they had gained. Their family bond was stronger. They had newfound appreciation for simple things, and they had discovered strength they never knew existed. So as you sit there with the lights on and the Wi-Fi humming, ask yourself the hard question. Could your family survive? The first lesson is simple. Have a plan. Don't wait for the lights to go out. You need the basics. Water, food, and first aid. These are the holy trinity of survival. But supplies are only half the battle. The other half is skills. Can you start a fire without a lighter? Do you know basic first aid? These skills become currency when the system collapses. Ultimately, survival is about mindset. The Millers survived because they worked together, adapted, and held on to their humanity. The power can go out in an instant, but resilience, knowledge, and a strong will to live, those are things no one can take from you. Be prepared, stay sharp.